Welcome, everybody. This is the Day Trading Options Daily Review for August 2nd, 2016. I'm Scott. He's Alan. The www.waves of profit. Bottom right-hand corner is our little subscribe button. Subscribe, hit like, leave a comment, share with your friends. Really appreciate your support. Our goal is just to show you that it was possible to make 10% in 10 minutes pretty much every day that we review, and we don't review every day, but we've certainly reviewed enough that if you look back, you should be convinced that it's not hard to make 10% in 10 minutes. So Alan, it's August 2nd. Were we able to achieve our goal?
Yep, and this particular day was an easy day, and as you know, Scott, there's easy days and not as easy days. Just like sometimes people in a job, it's like, oh no, they want all that. Or other times it's like, hey, I don't have much to do. Anyways, with stocks, we like the easy days because that makes the money making way simpler. So let's go. I'm just going to show you what the basket is showing here. We like the basket because it gives you an idea that there's something going on here. You can see that the stocks that we've got, that auto track for you, they weren't going anywhere. They were in this no man's land. But here they started to break out and go down, and it's pretty easy that red was the right side to be on.
So how many stocks are in this basket?
In this one, there's 25.
Okay.
And
these are most of the stocks that we're tracking that we think might have an opportunity to trade?
Yeah, that's right. And so the computer, the server actually figures out, it looks at about 6,700, so that's like almost 7,000 stocks, and figures out, well, which ones have good options that you can get in and get out of, and that the stock actually moves reasonably well, that you can make money. So you can buy the option, it moves, and you can get out and get paid.
So these are the top 25 stocks out of almost 7,000 stocks.
Yeah, and there's no way you want to do that by hand. And so the key difference is it looks at the liquidity of the option contracts. And so it analyzes about 400,000 option contracts every weekend, and then during the week it does an update. That's not a job for a human being. It's just really the computer does all that, which is why we like the computer doing that. It doesn't complain, of course. It just goes ahead and does that. So we do pay for a professional data feed on the server side. We pay for more than one to gather all that data so that you don't have to go, well, what do you think? Should I get into this one? It's like, does it have options? Are they liquid? Open interest on options, everybody knows that. You can go get that from a bunch of sites, but what you can't get, and that's why the computer does the job, is liquidity. What's the trading volume on each of these option contracts?
There's nothing worse than being right about the direction, being right about the stock, and being wrong about the option you buy.
Mm-hmm. And we've got a video that we just put out in a training. This is for people that have already learned the basic stuff about what we do and how we do it, about the importance of what to look at when you're dealing with an option. And that course will be available pretty soon, but all the other courses in the Facebook group, people are really helpful. And that video is actually available in a preview mode in the Facebook group. And I've had a few comments from people going, whoa, I wish I would have known that a long time ago. So yeah, we're putting all kinds of really the meaty things that you need to know.
Awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at some stocks.
Okay, so here we are. I'm just showing you for simplicity that Apple did well, and the signals were right here. It broke out. This is the usual stuff we talk about. Give me Apple here. There we go. There's Apple. So the usual things we talk about is that it breaks out of this risk zone here. So it did right there, that the market was running red, and that's this black line here. The market's running red. So that was a good trade, and that trade you could have got in, and we'll look at that at about 9:53 or so. And then if we go look at another one, I'm just doing a quick overview. We're changing up our style here a little bit today. Here you can see it's the same sort of thing. There's no signal really here, but then this one really started to show it was going to move while the market's running down at 10.18 or thereabouts. And finally, here's another one, Panera Bread. This one, same set of rules we're looking at. It breaks out of this risk zone and starts heading down. And this one started around at 9.38. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go, because I know what Scott likes, is he likes to see how they turn out. So somewhere, there it is. It broke out. So I'm going to just hit the buy on the put side. You can see the market is not really green. It's just a tinge green, but the market line is running down. That's this black line. You can change the colors. So we're going to hit buy because we know that this is already a good looking stock and it's good for the red side. So we bought it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going, wow, this isn't turning out so good. It's not looking ugly, but you can see how this market is really turning red right there. So now we're starting to make some money. Hovering a long time, and we're getting close to 10 o'clock. So we're at 7% profit. We're going to want to get out before 10. And if we can't, we'll just take the profit. There it is. It's 10 o'clock. We're at 9%. Do you want to take 9% or do you want to hang in?
I think take 9% because 10 o'clock, the likelihood is it's going to shift.
Yeah, and you could just throw away that money. Well, get paid. That's our big thing. Just get paid. And you'll see this with all the replays. There's lots of times it goes the other way. Well, we don't want to be around for that. And as you can see that on this market line, which represents 3,000 of the most active stocks, that it's getting flat, which means it's not showing us the love that we had before. So if we go back now to Apple, which we were looking at, right, let's bring up Apple. There's Apple. So the risk zone, that's risk zone because it bounces. We don't want that bounce. We want the thing to start making us money. So right here, again, just our standard rules. The market, you can see, is really strong red. We're at 9:41, so we've got about 3 or 4 minutes for sure that we can ride this thing before we get seeing turmoil. So we're at a little bit better than break even. We're down a bit. It's not looking good. So we might want to just get out. The market is up and down, up and down. It's not looking good. And this is what reality is sometimes you get this flutter. It wasn't enough to get us stopped out that we say we should get out of there. But you'll notice that the tint is gone. So we're going to just keep going a little bit further here because we've got 4%. The market's still kind of red. Do you want to take a profit or get out? In a case like this, because it's close to the 9:45, and that's why you want replay, your personality may say get out, and that's okay. Mine on this, because the market's still red, is I would like to see just a little bit, another minute. I'm getting out here. I don't care what the rest of it's doing. That's what I would do. But again, it's about your personality. You don't have to like what we're doing. You can adjust it. And yes, it did make a bit more money. And the last one we were going to look at was, I think, Expedia. And here we've got no reasons to get in, right? There's no tint. But right about there, there's tint. And the market's quite strong. And this is the beginning of a trade. We don't want to get in at the end of a trade. We want to get in at the beginning. So this looks pretty good. So we're going to hit the buy and go forward. It's made ourselves 10% in like 2 minutes. And we're getting close to SB, which is a turning point. I'm just going to hit the get out of it and make some money. And let's see what happens. Okay. Could have made some more on that. These are your personal decisions. And that's the beauty of the replay, is you can try it all out and say, well, I would do this. And then you can say, oh, well, if I would have hung on. And the point of all that is to build your rules. Because if I give you my rules and you don't like them, you won't follow them. But if you build your rules based on the tools and all the guidance and the indicators, and most everybody uses the same indicators, but It's how you implement them, one person to another, personality-wise, that'll make you the money. So here, some people don't trade in this first 15 minutes, for example. It doesn't suit their personality. It's too jumpy. So we've shown you 3 different time frames where it's moving, and you could have made money based on the same set of rules. So in Apple, well, Panera Bread, it was, that one took a long time in the sense that it took like 20 minutes, and it was almost 9%. Apple was 13 minutes, 10%. And here's Expedia, 2 minutes, 10%.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I would add to this is if you're just starting out, the easiest thing to do and probably the hardest thing to do is be disciplined and just say, you know what, I made my 10%, I'm going to get out. And then you continue to watch it and you've got this whole, oh my God, I've lost because it went to 20% a few minutes later. And that happens. But once you're really comfortable making the 10%, and think about it, get an actuary and say, well, if I made 10% on $1,000 4 times a week, 4 weeks of a month, and then 11 months of a year, what would I have at the end of the year? And you'll be quite astounded at what it'll be. But if you do 100 trades and you're 80% successful and you make 10% on all the successful trades and you lose, a couple percent or less on the bad trades, then you're going to be so familiar with how to be successful. You're going to see these trades that ran longer. You're going to see the trades that reversed on you right away, but you've already got your 10% out, so you're going to be creating this, these patterns in your brain where eventually you're going to be at the point where you say, yeah, this is really obviously a very strong move, and it's going to go to 30% or more, or 50% or more, and you're going to be able to recognize it. But in the beginning, it's really important that you protect your capital, and we really strongly suggest that you not be greedy, you not succumb to fear, and you be very, very disciplined. And then as time goes on, and like we know, one of our students said, I've done 600 trades in replay. Well, how comfortable is he with the replay? How well does he know what the stocks are doing? Really, really well, right? He says, at the first 200, I was at 60 or 70% success rate. And then I made some changes and made some adjustments based on what I learned from the mistakes that I made. And then I implemented those changes, and now I'm at about 95, 96, 97% success on my next 400 trades. Well, that's incredible discipline, and that's creating a very, very strong foundation for success. And that's really what we want you to do, particularly if you're starting out, because, what's this red stuff? What's this black line? What's this gold area? It takes a while for you to be really comfortable with the system and really comfortable with the way it looks, which is why we've got the replay. And Alan, the replay goes back, 2 or 3 months?
6 years and
6
counting.
years. So 6 years times, what would that be like?
There's well over 1,000 different days, and each day has like 20 different stocks to trade. So here we are, July of 2010. That's a lot.
That's a lot. So you go back, so you can see, wow, like 2010, this was a good year. This was a bad year for stocks. This was a sideways year. You can practice in all different types of scenarios and be really comfortable with it. And that's the whole point of the replay, because things repeat and repeat. There's always wars starting. There's always stock market crashes. There's housing crashes. There's booms going on. The price of oil jumps up to $150 a barrel. It falls down to $40 a barrel. When it's at 150, nobody can conceive of it ever going to 40. And when it's at 40, no one ever thinks it's going to go back up to 100. And of course, it always does. So that's the whole point, is for you to be so familiar with this that you can just glance at it and say, yep, just like the guy in the Matrix, right? It says there's a blonde, there's a redhead, there's a brunette, and all you see are green symbols going up and down the screen. And that's what we want for you. It's like, oh yeah, here's a really good trade. Here's a really bad trade. And then you stay out of the bad ones, get in the good ones, and you make your money. stress-free.
Yeah.
Awesome. So anything you want to add, Alan?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate having you here. Please subscribe. In the descriptions, we've got links, and I think we also have some cards if you're looking at this in YouTube to our courses, and they're incredibly inexpensive compared to what you're going to get anywhere else. When you take the course, you get 30-day free trial of the replay so that you can try this out for yourself and see that if it works for you. And if it works, then you can go to the next level, go live, and start making some money. But the key to it all is practice, which is why, and review, which is why we do our reviews for you. And we wanted to just show you that, yes, you can make 10% in a very short period of time consistently. So,
and join the Facebook group.
Yes, and join the Facebook group.
Because then it's not like just you and me, Scott, talking to people and saying, no, these are actual people that are trading live, we're practicing, and they're telling you, oh, wow, look, I did this, and oh, I screwed up there. And it's like, yeah, you told me not to do that.
Right.
It's a great learning center. And
yeah, the groups are closed. They're open to students of the courses. So join the courses, join the group, and immerse yourself in this, and then you'll start realizing that it's a lot better than the local GIC that the bank's going to give you, which is 1 or 2% a year.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.